Thursday lunchtime on Granada, and right now the regional news stories so far.
Hello to you and welcome to the lunchtime bulletin from Granada in Liverpool. The headlines this Thursday: criticism over the way money was spent from the Hillsborough Disaster Fund. A man appears in court charged with the murder of a young mother from Cheshire. Threatened with closure at the unique care centre for terminally ill babies in Liverpool. And tributes from the world of sport for the Northwest tennis star Fred Perry. First, the trust fund set up in the wake of the Hillsborough disaster 6 years ago is closing, amid criticism from some quarters over the way the money has been spent. 96 people died at the Sheffield ground. Over the years, the trust fund has received around £14 million in donations. Paul Crowe reports.
The disaster happened in April 1989 during the FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. The Hillsborough Trust Fund was set up immediately afterwards and has been administered since then by former City Council officers. Money's come in over the years through donations and fundraising schemes such as charity records. Most of the £14 million has gone to relatives of the victims. The rest's gone to charities and other causes such as bereavement counselling groups. Some's been used to set up bursaries to provide grants for students at Liverpool's universities, a move which has led to some criticism. None of the trustees have so far been available for comment today.
We're joining me now to discuss exactly how the money from the fund has been distributed is Councillor Peter Millay, who's on the Hillsborough Disaster Working Party. Now, Peter, as we heard there, some of the money is being given to students who weren't at Hillsborough. You're not happy with this. Tell me why.
Well, I'm not happy at all, Hazel. I mean, I was there myself in 1989, and just seeing those scenes then brings it all back, the suffering and misery that people have gone through. And as a member of the Hillsborough Working Party, I've met the people who are still suffering and still want to get to the root of the problem and to get justice. And they feel that their legitimate claims for justice are not being heard.
And some of that money could be spent on helping them in that legal process, presumably?
Well, it could have been, and only this time last year we were seeking a meeting with the trustees, that is myself and the other councillors and officers of Liverpool City Council, tried to meet with the trustees because we were aware that there was over £300,000 in a fund which people have donated to, public money.
Terrible that there's any argument over this very sensitive issue. Do you think this debate actually adds to the family's distress that they weren't consulted on how the money's spent?
Well, absolutely, because when they're aware that money's available and they think they could have had us very small amounts, that's all we were asking, just a few £1,000s, to pay for the costs of going down to the High Court in London. We were unable to get that money. We were told when we finally had a meeting with them that the money had been spent the week earlier, and we were outraged when we heard that.
Now, the matter goes on because money is still coming into the fund. What do you hope will happen with that money?
Well, only last week we had a meeting of the Hillsborough Disaster Working Party, and I asked that, if possible, we should even look at setting up another fund, because, as you rightly say, there's money coming in from the sales of books, from the royalties from records that were made, and so on. This money is ongoing. People will still want to donate. People will still want to help. And how can they help if they don't know where to send the money to?
Peter Millay, thank you very much. Thank you. A man has appeared in court in Northwich today, charged with the murder of a young mother. The body of Amanda Hughes was found on a footpath near her home in the town. She had 2 young children. Stephen Hughes, an electrician from Weaverham in Cheshire, was remanded in custody for a week. Hughes, who's no relation to Mrs. Hughes, was arrested in Scotland following a tip-off. Police hunting the killer of a market trader have arrested 7 people in a series of dawn raids on homes in Oldham and Birmingham. Mohammed Bashrat from Oldham is wanted for questioning over the murder of fellow trader Jaswant Singh Sabdu, shot during an argument over T-shirts at a market in Blackwood in South Wales last month. The raids follow a tip-off that Bashrat was being helped to evade police. A campaign is underway today to save a unique hospice on Merseyside. Zoe's Place in West Derby is the only centre in Britain that cares for babies who are terminally ill. But it's now threatened with closure because of funding problems, as Peter Berry reports.
Zoe's Place is based at the Life Health Centre in West Derby, and it cares for children under 3 with terminal illness and or severe handicaps. The centre needs £250,000 to stay open until the end of the year.
We have staff to pay, equipment to buy, things for the babies in general, food, you name it, and that takes a big chunk out of the money.
Parents who send their children here include Karen Tyndall from Hoylake. Her 2-year-old daughter Fiona has cerebral atrophy.
Zoe's opened doors for me and made me a lot stronger and happier. But if they close, I really do wonder what we're going to do.
Tomorrow, David Alton, the Liverpool Mossley Hill Liberal Democrat MP, will visit the centre as carers prepare to lobby Parliament.
Now, the Stars and Stripes have been flying over Lancaster Town Hall today to welcome more than 100 former GIs who served in the North West during World War II. Tony Barnes was there too.
10,000 GIs were based at the US Air Force site at Wharton during the war. Today, 108 of their number made it back. They were greeted at Lancaster Town Hall before embarking on a day of revisiting old haunts. They all have fond memories of serving at Base Air Depot No. 2.
Wharton was a huge repair base. We repaired planes and modified planes that were in combat, and if they were damaged in combat, we repaired them, sent them back into combat. If new planes came over, we made the proper modifications and sent them into combat.
Later this week, they'll visit a memorial to the 56 who died, including 35 children, when an American bomber fell on a school at Freckleton near Preston in 1944.
Now, tennis stars from the past and present have been gathering in London today to pay tribute to the great Fred Perry, who was born in Stockport. A memorial service is being held in St Paul's in London this lunchtime. Jackie Rand reports.
Fred Perry was the last Briton to win the Wimbledon singles title. He was born in Stockport in 1909, the son of a cotton spinner. He became the first player ever to scoop the Wimbledon hat-trick. He was men's singles champion in 1934, 35 and 36. He later became a sports writer and commentator and co-founded one of the world's best-known designer clothing companies in 1949. At the memorial service in St Paul's today, the big names of tennis turned out to pay tribute to a sporting legend. Ball boys from Wimbledon line the steps of St Paul's in tribute to a man who remains the undisputed people's champion of the game.
Now, Knutsford is ringing with the dulcet tones of its first town crier this lunchtime. After making an appeal on Granada tonight, Julie Mitchell was offered the job by Knutsford Council. Appropriately, her inaugural cry is taking place on the steps of the town's Wesley Church. Julie is thought to be the 8th woman town crier in Britain, but part of the first husband and wife team. Her husband David is also a town crier. He works at Frodsham in Cheshire. In Granada tonight this evening, we head off to Blackpool to see the latest addition to Madame Tussauds Waxworks. And if you're a rugby fan, don't miss it. Plus, of course, we'll have our weekly guide on how to smarten up your garden in our series called Border Patrol. But that's it for now from the newsroom. Very good afternoon. Bye-bye.
All areas will stay mostly sunny and warm today with just patchy thin high cloud. Temperatures will reach 21 Celsius generally, though it'll stay cooler on the coast where sea breezes keep temperatures nearer to 17 Celsius, 63 Fahrenheit. But even so, it will be very pleasant everywhere. The nights will stay dry with long clear periods, some parts having clear skies all night. Temperatures will fall to 9 Celsius, 48 Fahrenheit, not quite as cool as last night, but still low enough for some mist patches to form around dawn, mainly in the river valleys.